Alright fellas, so in today's video I'm going to do two things for you. One, I'm going to explain to you why women love dangerous men when it comes to hypergamy. And also I'm going to give you the 5 traits of a dangerous man that if you're not already, you need to start to develop. Alright fellas, so first off, let's answer a few questions. My first question, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would like to know, is why do women leave good men? Or why do women leave nice guys? Fellas, to almost every question in life, there's always a real and a right answer. Alright, so the right answer, the politically correct answer to why women leave nice guys and why women profusely leave good men, the right answer is women just don't appreciate good men. They don't know a good man when they see one. All right, now that may be true, and I agree with that for the most part. But fellas, the real answer is women are not aroused or typically attracted to morality and virtue. Now, I will say this, sexual selection is based on morality, but a lot of it is based on hypergamy. And that's what I'm going to explain to you guys today. And I'm going to also show you how to become a more dangerous man as well. One of the most important things about becoming a dangerous man that you must understand is you need to become capable. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you 5 things that dangerous men are capable of doing that turns women on and ultimately attracts them. The things that they don't teach you today. The traits that today's current society actually discourage men from having. All right, and it's kind of sad to be honest with you because these are things that women actually look for in men. Now remember fellas, I'm going to put this over here so you don't forget. All right, you need to be capable. You need to be competent. First thing you need to be capable of doing. You need to be capable of breaking rules. All right, I did not say that you need to be a rule breaker and you need to walk around breaking the law and being a criminal and ultimately turn into a felon. Not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are times in life, and there may be times in your life, where if you don't have the capability to break rules, you will become a victim or you won't get what you want out of life. If you see anybody successful, at some point, they had to break a rule in order to get to where they wanted to be. I'm not saying breaking the law, but they had to do something unorthodox to be able to get to where they at. And it doesn't have to be illegal. It could just be contrary to the traditional route. So I'll give an example of what I'm talking about when it comes to hypergamy. Let's say there's a zombie apocalypse. All right, and you and your chick are trapped in a supermarket. Y'all at the grocery store when the zombie apocalypse popped off. All right, now when everybody started going chaotic, they closed the doors of the grocery store because they didn't want to let y'all out because there were zombies outside. So you grab your girl, she's scared, y'all don't know what's going on. You look out the window, it's zombies outside and y'all don't know what to do. But the police told y'all to stay still and not to move. And then a few seconds later, you turn around and look in your peripheral and you see some zombies coming through the back door. All right, now you got a decision to make. You can follow the rules and listen to what the police told you and stay still, or you can make a conscious decision, break the rules, grab your chick and get out of there or do something to save your life. Most men, they will look at the zombies coming through the back door. They girls scared. Their girl would be like, babe, we should go. The dude would be like, no, the police told us to stay here. Fellas, I gave you a simple example of why most men don't attract women. Because in times when you need to break rules, this is why I talk about the Machiavellian side that you need to have. You need to have the ability or capability to do things that are for you, even though it may disappoint other people or it may piss people off. And even though it may piss her off too as well. So you got to be okay with pissing your chick off. But my point is, fellas, this shows that you're not a bitch. I'm not saying that you got to walk around being a bad person and breaking laws like I said, but when the time arises, you need this capability. This is why women love bad boys, because inherently bad boys break rules. So this is why it's so sexy to women. All right, so like I said, morality doesn't always win. Yes, morality does attract women, and that's a part of sexual selection. But what trumps that, I believe, subconsciously, is hypergamy for women. All right? Next capability that you need to have as a man, fellas, is the capability of violence. All right? And I'm going to give you 2 scenarios with this. Let's say you got a new girl. You finally built up the courage to approach a woman, get her number, take her out on a date, and now she likes you because you did the right thing and you weren't a simp and you didn't talk too much. Now you got a girlfriend. And you and your chick are walking down the street on a beautiful afternoon. And you see in front of you 3 dudes. All right? And as you and your girl cross these 3 dudes, one of these dudes decide to look at your girl and say something rude. Just out of nowhere, fellas. You know how people are from time to time. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what to expect. That's why you should always be ready. All right? Now, you have a choice as her man. Remember, that's your girl, fellas. You put in work to get her, all right? Now, you have a choice as a man. You can either say something to the guy and confront the guy even though he's with 2 people. All right? Now, this is a dangerous situation. All right, so you got to pick your battles. Or you can say nothing and ignore it because you're afraid of what might happen. All right, now you're probably wondering in your head, and a lot of guys will think, well, what did he say to her? It depends on what he said to her. Let's say he said something that was so foul and disrespectful that if it was your mom, you probably would have choked him up on the wall. That's how bad it was. All right, now any woman that's with you should be under your protection, correct? Now that's what she thinks as well. So what do I mean by this? If you don't tell the guy anything, what that tells her is you don't have the capability of violence. Because what might happen if you tell him something? Violence may erupt. That's a simple fact about male nature. That's why men are so respectful to each other. Because the moment somebody gets fresh between 2 men and steps out of line, furniture is being moved and somebody's probably getting knocked out. All right, G. So I say that to say you need the capability of violence. This is why women love fighters. This is why women love men who look like they can do something, who look intimidating. Why? Because women want to be protected. Biggest thing about hypergamy you need to understand. If you just sum hypergamy up into one word, G, all right, you will understand women so much easier. Women's primary goal on this planet, and for most of the things that they do, is in order to survive. So most of the conscious as well as subconscious decisions that they make is to keep them alive, to make sure not only they live, but their offsprings live as well. So in order for that to happen, they need a man that can physically protect them. Now, next thing about violence. You need the ability. So the first thing was just about you checking a man and you confronting people, all right, and not being afraid of confrontation. Next thing is your ability to kill. Now, a lot of guys have probably never heard this. For the guys who have heard this, you understand what I mean. Your ability to kill. I'll give you an example. Our ancestors, in order for them to be able to conquer and accomplish things in life, somebody had to die. So the women that were with these men who were doing the killing, they knew that if a man couldn't kill something, a person, an animal, they wouldn't live. They wouldn't be protected, nor would they be provided for. You get what I'm saying? So now we live in a world that is much more civilized. So we don't have to walk around killing people to get what we want. All we got to do is apply knowledge, all right? It went from here to here, to be honest with you. But it is still built in a woman's biology to crave a man who she knows that when the time arises, he will kill something. So if you in your house with your chick, it's your girl, remember you put in work to get her, and an intruder comes in the door. If you don't have the capability to destroy that intruder, that woman will not be or stay attracted to you if she's aware of that. Now, if she don't know, if you don't know, you don't know. If nothing ever happens, she don't know, fellas. But if it does happen, you don't want to be in that position to where you're not capable of this, so you either run or you get your ass beat down to a bloody pulp and she just looking at you like, you're no use. Because that's how women look at men like that. Gee, I'm a fighter, and I see this I've seen this so many times. A woman is with her man. She's at her man's fight, whether it's a boxing match, MMA, kickboxing, whatever. And he loses. And not only does he lose, but he gets his ass whooped. And she either leaves him or the respect in the relationship changes. And he sees it. And he knows it. And it's clear as day. And everybody knows why. It's like a stench in the room. Hypergamy was triggered because if he would have won, her attraction for him would have been through the roof. It's just how it is. So fellas, you can't get around this. You can check every other box and keep your chick, I'm going to be honest with you, without this. But if this is needed, if this is not there, it's over. All right, guys, fellas, next one. You also need the capability to walk away. All right? Little do you know, contrary to what you've heard and what women try to tell you, this is very attractive to a woman. What this says basically is dominance, independence, and self-worth. All right? The ability to not let a motherfucker play you and you have enough value and respect for yourself to walk away and not tolerate it. Okay, guys? I guarantee you, you are best off walking away from a woman based on whatever standards or boundaries you have for yourself than tolerating it and negotiating whatever the fuck is going on. All right, I will give you a perfect example. For all my loyal subscribers, y'all know this story, guys. I was dating this doctor for about 8 months. All right, guys, and I'm not going to lie. I've dated some really horrible, toxic women, and I've dated some really great women, to be honest with you. And she will be in a category on the list of the great women. All right, fellas, I'll give her that. Now, there was one special night. We were hanging out at the crib at my house, by the way, and we laying up in the bed. And for some reason, G, and she wasn't on her period, so it was bugging me out. And that's why I couldn't give her no grace or excuse. But she decided to just get fresh with me, bro, just talking trash, answering me all condescending. So I checked her, you know, as you normally should, like, hey, babe, I don't know what you want, but you need to chill out. All right, and she was like, okay, whatever. And, you know, and when she said, okay, whatever, it was kind of condescending. And I didn't say nothing, G, because, you know, you got to ignore women sometimes when they in a little mood. So I ignored the G, and we proceeded on with the night. So about 10 to 15 minutes later, she decided to get fresh again. So, G, I didn't react, but I did react instantly, and I just told her to get out. And she didn't want to leave because you know how women are when they wrong and they know they wrong, but they don't want to take accountability. So she was like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm like, babe, yes, you are. You're leaving. Now, I wasn't going to break up with her. I was just going to kick her out for the night. But she continued to be belligerent. Now, fellas, I'm not going to put my hands on her, and I'm definitely not going to call the police on a woman for something minor like that. So what I did was I started grabbing her bags one by one. She had about 3 of them, G. I started grabbing her bags one by one and tossing them out the door. All right, so now she panicking. She going crazy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So she ran and go get her bags. As soon as she walked out the door, I closed the door and locked it. Now, there was silence after that. So in my head, she picked her bags up, swallowed her pride, and walked off and went home. Now, about 2 hours later, I had to walk my dog. So I grabbed my dog, put her on a leash. I head out the front door. I take 2 steps out the front door, look down to my left, and I see my chick sitting on a patio. I'm like, babe, what the hell you doing? She like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't know you were going to get that mad. I was just playing. I was like, you know me. I told you stop talking to me like that. Why would you talk to me like that? You ain't have a reason. You know, well, I'm so sorry. Can I come back inside? And by that point, fellas, I was done. She had to go at that point. I already gave her a warning. We weren't even together long enough for me to even give her that grace. You know, now she was a great woman, but I got boundaries and I got standards and I stand on them. All right, fellas, and that's what women need to understand when you're dealing with them. So when she asked me, can she come back inside, I thought about it for a few seconds. And I ain't gonna lie, fellas, I was like 95% away from leaving her out there. But I had to consider the fact that she was a good woman, and that was really like her first time messing up like that. And to be honest, after that, never had a problem with her. Now, we fell off because of some circumstantial things. I was on some dirtbag stuff, fellas. I wasn't ready for a relationship at the time. But you get my point. You need the ability to walk away, because if you don't and you stay, a woman's respect for you will immediately reduce. She may appreciate you for staying, but she won't respect you for staying. And if there's no respect, there is no arousal. Simple as that. Next one. Now, next capability you need to have, fellas, and I really need you to pay attention, because too many men go back and forth about this, and I believe it's nonsense that you would even argue about this. Every sign in life showed you that as a man, every time you wake up in the morning and you walk outside your door and you face reality, life shows you and tells you that as a man, you must have, it is important and mandatory that you develop earning capability, meaning make some damn money. Know how to do it and know how to keep doing it. All right, fellas, simple as that. Now, how does this relate to hypergamy? If you look at marriages, Yes, marriage rates, they've been flopping. They've been going up and down. We don't know the future. There's rumors that 50% of women in the next 5 to 7 years are going to be either single or childless. So the marriage stats don't look great. But I will give you something else that's statistical. Did you know that it is far more likely that couples that are married, that are high earners, or the man is the breadwinner and is a high earner, that they stay in a marriage and not divorce? Not saying that they're 100% immune to divorce, but it's less likely it will happen. All right, guys? So you gotta understand something. The reason why, and what I'm basically saying is women tend to stay with men, or women tend to gravitate towards men who have earning capability. Now, I'm not saying that money is everything, but it's a big deal, and it is an equalizer. And like I said, everything that I'm explaining to you today, and if you can prove me wrong, drop it in the comments, but everything is wrapped around a woman's survival. So you can't get mad at it. It's fucking nature. It's like a woman getting mad at a man because he wants to protect and provide for her. This is why I think feminists are weirdos. All right, guys, how can you go against nature? That's what men are supposed to do. That's what women are supposed to do. That's how we keep going. That's how the human race doesn't fucking end. All right, G? Last one. The last capability you need is the ability to influence and attract. You need the ability to influence and attract both men, respect for men, and attraction from women. If you are with a woman and you go out, let's say y'all go to the mall and you got women looking at you, women flirting with you. Every time a different chick see you, she throwing her hair behind her ear and your girl can see all that. And when guys see you, they walking up to you and saying, man, you look good, bro. Nice physique. Damn, bro, I like your shoes. Man, you got a nice car outside. How wet do you think your girl's going to be by the time y'all exit that mall, G? All right, she gonna be dripping. Y'all probably ain't gonna make it to the car, my G. All right, and if y'all do make it to the car, y'all are not leaving the parking lot for a while. Why? Because of social proof. A lot of guys yelling out social proof don't even know what it means. What this tells her is you have the ability to influence and attract people. How does this relate to survival? Long back, our ancestors, if you're a man of value, a lot of people knew you. And what does that do for the woman? She feels protected. If she has a colony, a community of people that are all rooting for her, because we all want women to survive, right? Women are sacred creatures and we take care of them. So if you my chick, all my homies is your bodyguards. They ain't your friends, but they your bodyguards. So if something happen, you know you got a lot of people. If you my girl, you know you got a lot of people around you that's going to hold you down if anything crazy happen. You are protected. If there's a zombie apocalypse, you got a team. This is why if you're a man of status or value and you look great, you got a physique, and the dudes that you hang with are like that as well, it is far more likely you're going to attract women, because what you're telling her is that not only are you that guy, but you attract other men of value. Therefore, you have value. So like I said, the question to what women are attracted to, why women love bad boys, why women don't like nice guys, most of it has to do with a woman's survival. So if you just think about that, you will realize why women make most of the narcissistic, the selfish, the solipsistic decisions that they make. All right, to be honest with you. All right, guys? So, appreciate you fellas for tuning in today. Share this with a homeboy that this will help out. All right, guys? It's your boy, KD. We out here, baby.